And I was told by someone that if I proved myself and like showed that like I really wanted this, I would be able to, when the lease is up, I'd be able to get my own place in LA and like it would be covered for and I can move in whoever I wanted. And
The
so
Marley House.
yeah, so I was like, you know what, that's amazing. Like I'm gonna work right towards that. And so I did exactly that for like 8 months. I just and I was like at the time there was a lot of really like there was like I was going through a really bad breakup that really affected me in a negative way. So I just threw myself into content, making videos, and then fast forward to 2018, I leave the FaZe house to go start my own FaZe house in LA because everyone at this point is kind of like slowing down. They're kind of like working on other things.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna do my thing, and I moved to LA. I get the house. I think both of you guys remember. I'm pretty sure you guys were both.
Of course, yeah.
Were both there.
I think I came to like the housewarming party or something.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
You did with Juju.
With Juju. Was that the
Yeah.
housewarming or was that?
I think it was
another
Juju's
party?
birthday.
I think it was his birthday.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I was able to do that, and I quickly we secured the house. Banks helped me look for it. You know, he was a big part of helping me do that. And as soon as I got it, I moved. I drove from Newport to LA, packed up my Range, drove back to Newport, packed everything else up. Back to LA, I left a bunch of stuff in my room in Newport, and I was so excited and so ready. And then I was told by this same person that I can't post videos in this house and I can't do anything until the situation gets sorted out with the guys in Newport.
Remember that.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
You couldn't
because-
post content?
Yeah, no, I was told I
was
was told
bullshit.
I literally couldn't.
I remember hearing about
And this
that.
is by someone who like I had to listen to at the time.
I
I,
know
don't
what
want
you're
to say his
talking about.
name or like what he did, but he told me that, and I was like, wow, like what I just like every day I would wake up all every day of the week, 7 days a week, all my whole time. I was editing my own videos, I was cutting them up, I was sending notes to T-Wop. And I finally get there and I'm like, wow, like now what? And this is December, like the most important. This is like the most important time to if anyone watching this doesn't understand, like you could post a video in January, but if you post that same video in December, you can make 10 times the amount of money, which isn't something that motivated me, but
In a
it's
way, it
just a
does.
plus.
like obviously it's like you want to make that happen.
Of course.
Yeah, the
And-
CPMs are just known to be higher in December.
Yeah, and I was just so pissed, and I was already having a hard time mentally. Like I didn't really address a lot of my like feelings or emotions about what was going on in my life. I just sort of threw myself into my content, my videos, and so I found myself sitting around in this massive house all day doing nothing, not being able to do what I love, just sitting around waiting for a green light. I'm talking like weeks. So I resorted to some just like poor ways to deal with this like depression, this sadness, which was awful. And then I don't really want to go too much into detail about it, but like I remember what exactly happened. It was like after being there for 2 weeks, I remember around New Year's, I was like, all right, I need to stop doing what I'm doing, like, because this is not good. I know I can't live my life like this. Like my whole life I've lived knowing I can't do this.
You shouldn't let it like
Yeah.
take over right when you move to LA.
Yeah, so I stopped all these bad habits, and like 3 days into like me trying to quit what it was I was doing, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't take it. Like physically, I was in pain, emotionally, mentally, and every aspect of the word. You know what I mean? And it was very easily for me to access what it was that I was doing. And so, and I didn't have anyone around me to be like, no, you know,
Yeah, that's
like
the
no
worst
one
part.
even really knew. I was in my room all day.
Yeah.
So I immediately, again, just jumped right back into it. And, so what happened was, this is like, now we're at the point of like 3 weeks after I moved in, still not allowed to post. I'm just like in my room all day, not doing anything except for just drowning like in just depression and pain. And I go to get my, this is the craziest part about this whole thing. I go to get like my Postmates one day, and I would normally grab it and run back up to my room and just stay there. But I grabbed it and I heard people in the movie theater downstairs. It was Nick Cleveland, and Nikon. They were playing 2K. So I was like, you know what? I've been in my room all day, probably for a couple days now. Let me just go down to the movie theater and eat my food while I watch him play
Yeah.
2K. And that was the last thing I remember. That was the last thing I remember. The next thing I remember was waking up in a gurney,
I
on a
remembered
gurney, handcuffed to a gurney in the back of an ambulance.
What?
And I had a seizure. I had a seizure on the floor of the movie theater.
Oh
I
my
didn't remember. I
gosh.
just woke up in the this. It sounds crazy. I woke up and it's like, like when you see these scenes in movies, it's like blurry and like their
Yeah.
heads turning and you can't really make anything out. That's how it was. And the only thing I saw, the only person I saw when I was in that ambulance was the guy who told me I couldn't make videos, who promised me that if I worked hard enough that he would put me in a position that I wanted to be in, let me do what I wanted to. And then as soon as I got there, as soon as I brought everything there, he pulled the rug out from under me and I woke up and I just saw him.
What the
And I'm
hell?
handcuffed to a
It's
gurney.
like a nightmare.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like a actual nightmare.
Yeah, it was crazy, and he's just like, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. So I had a seizure, and the thing is, like, when people have seizures alone by themselves, that a lot of those times those people end up dying. Like, that's a high cause of death. It's happened before to a lot of people, and
Is it because like they could hit their head
they
somewhere?
could hit their head, they could bite their tongue, they could
Ooh.
choke on their blood. There's just no one there to stop them. And
Yeah.
the thing is, any other situation, I would have been in this big ass room on the entire fourth floor by myself. No one would have seen me. No one would have heard me. I would have been by myself, and God knows what would have happened. But I grabbed my Postmates, and I like faintly heard people in the movie theater. So I went down to the movie
Bro.
theater, and the next thing
Wow.
I remember was waking up in incredibly like aching pain in my head
Oh my god.
and seeing this guy, and then like kind of like going back out of it and waking up in a hospital. And I was in like a hospital like facility type of place for like 8 or 9 days, and it was miserable. It was miserable. And like, mind you, this was like right after I moved to LA. I'm 19.
Wow.
Wait, no. Maybe I'm 20. I'm 20 years old. I'm 24 now, but I was 20. That's definitely, yeah, I was 20 years old. I was in there for a while, and I remember just being super sad in this place, thinking like, how has this happened? A couple people came and visited me. Those people know who they were, but I was like sitting in there. I'm like where are my friends? Like, why are my friends not coming and saying it? Like, why how like, and I don't have a phone in there. I don't have a phone.
Oh, you don't?
For like 8 to 10. It was like 8 days or something. I don't have a phone, and like the people who like I really considered like my friends at the time, like, obviously I know now things were different, but I was like, I can't believe like a lot of these people who I really like cherished our relationships, they didn't even really reach out. They didn't even like pull up, like, and stuff like that. And I know if situations were different, it wouldn't have been like that. But obviously, like it's different now. But that was like, boom, my first month in LA.